I've fallen in time to hide my mind. My mind is gone, you'll find. I listen to the words that go on the time. My life is all forgotten in the fall. I'm way too high. I follow what I fall. On earth to find. I urge my where do you go? To the dusty doorway, what people say that makes me face blow, make some room for the bass and bass blow. And don't know when I hit a pocket, ain't ball, beyond it ain't wall. The way that I miss in the face of a ball, driving away, and I hear to say song, I play through the radio, hey, I swear, learning the first like name, all in the wind is his name, everyone is running from the same start, everybody knew what the flame, knew it, cold in the place like broke in the face, and the first in the face, and the first in the place, with a torch of a blade, with a safe in the trade, and the wars in the rain, I can see through the pain.
Hello.
Beautiful people, welcome back to the Art Channel. It's time to flip that dial. That's right, to be creative and be positive. You're here with Ginger Lou and Greno. Happy weekend to everybody. Ginger, how are you today?
I am awesome. It's a beautiful day. It's nice and cool. Fall is starting. I'm digging it.
Awesome. So you're going to make some art for us today? A little collage action?
I am.
Cool. So we'll get to that in a sec. But yeah, folks, this is just our second episode. And I want to thank everyone for tuning into the first one. It was a big hit. And that's all because of Ginger. We did a tour of your house. I mean, it was, you know, when we're back today, we looked at a lot of your mixed media collage art and other art and stuff that your son's done. And in fact, we just heard some Cheapskates. What song was that from the new record that's coming out?
Moscow Boy, and it will be out October 28th.
Awesome. So yeah, so we're pumping that as much as we can. We're very proud of them. Rock and roll phenomenon from San Diego, California. And it's great that all the work that they're doing. So yeah, we're hanging out on a Saturday with you guys. We appreciate you tuning in with us. And we are brought to you by Anonymous Collective Music, as always. And Ginger Lou's all of her art. She's all over the place. So we'll be discussing that as well, as we always do. But how was your week, real quick? Let's just break it down. What anything interesting or exciting?
It was great. Let me think.
Cool.
Getting into the groove of school, virtual teaching. So that's getting better every day. I reorganized my creative space here a little bit, so it's a lot easier to work in. That's always good.
Yeah, definitely.
I like this weather change where it's nice and cool out and kind of foggy in the mornings. Kind of nice. I enjoy that little change.
You like the autumn weather? Is that
I just like the change. I like all weather, but it's nice when it changes.
Yeah.
Mix it up a bit.
Contrast. Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It feels good. Waking up, cuddling it, you can get all snuggly in this weather.
Well, plus, how fun would it be if we just I mean, some people would like one season. Like skiers or snowboarders, they'd like winter all year, and surfers want summer all year. But I think most artists, we like the contrast and the change. And I think that inspires different things in us too, don't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Maybe that's why I like it.
Brings out some new things and some new ways of doing art. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, speaking
All
of
right.
that, yeah, glad you had a good week.
Hey, what about you?
Yeah, I did a little recording this week, some music actually, which I was taking a break for a while. I don't know if I told you guys, but yeah, playing in bands, not being able to do that right now is bittersweet. So took a little break from music, started to do podcasts and things like that with people like Ginger and Vinny G and other folks. So a little different, but I got to get back into my music is my bread and butter, and that's what makes me most happy. So yeah, worked on a little bit of vocals and stuff, but yeah, I'll get back into it for sure. Yeah, but it's great that people are still finding time to be creative. I think right now that's really important, and just stay on the ball with what we need to do. So you like my little record player back here? Did you see that, G?
Oh my gosh, I love record players.
Right. Yeah, it's fun.
Is that new?
I got it for Christmas actually, so it's my backup. You know, it's the portable one, and it's actually battery powered, so you could like take it anywhere. You could take it on a hike if you wanted to, which I actually have thought of because I'm a record nerd.
What was that movie? Moon, where they had that portable record player.
I don't know. I'll have to check it out.
Moon-
Oh, I wanted to recommend a movie to you though, and I meant to do it on the last show.
Wes Anderson, is that his name? The guy, Moonlight. Oh my God, I'll think of it.
That's okay.
It reminded me of it because they had the cutest little portable record player in that movie, and I was like, gosh, I want one of those so bad. But it's like when you buy the record player and then you start collecting records, and it just turns into this monster.
Yeah, it's in the monster. The monster's in the other room. It's about.
But right? Am I right? Like you buy one,
about,
you buy all the records, it just kind of grows and grows, and then it like takes over.
It's about 2,000 pieces plus right now, just vinyl, and then CDs are another 1,000 or so, and that's a small collection. People are like, "Oh, that's so many records." I'm like, are you kidding me? I've seen collections that are as big as a library. Like people, I mean, it's amazing what people do. I wanted to recommend a movie to you though that I saw. It's called The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, and it's an African movie. I'm not just. That's all I'm going to say. Just check it out. I think you're going to enjoy it.
And that's like a tiny bit more. I can nibble.
Oh, it's a true story. It's about basically a village that's suffering from drought and things like that, and political parties that come in and want to use the trees that they have in the area, to sell them for money or whatever to make lumber, and so that's going to make the problem even worse. So there's this young boy that figures out a way to solve their problem. So, and the title of the movie should give it away a little bit, but it's such a genuine story, and the acting in it is not. These people are not acting. I mean, they are, but it's amazing. And like, there's a lot of tears in the movie, and the way these people cry is like, you watch like a Hollywood movie and you're like, oh, it's so fake. And like, I mean, not everyone, some people can emote that well, but oftentimes in a Hollywood movie.
But who's judging? Who's judging?
And like the tears in this movie are very powerful and very genuine. And it's something that I picked up on. It was my daughter tipped me off to the movie, Alex. And if you don't mind later, Ginger, I'd like to show a couple of Alex's pieces. She actually is going to let me. My daughter's an artist too. We do art in this family, music and art. And, oh, by the way, I wanted to tell you too, last night, my daughter, she's like, Dad, my oldest daughter, or middle daughter, Roxy, she's like, Dad, I want to play guitar. She had taken a guitar class a couple years ago, and I don't force music on my kids. Even though it's my joy, my love, my passion, my obsession, I just don't, I figure they're going to find what they like. And I'm sure you're the same way with your boys. And so last night she's like, Dad, where's the guitar? I want to play guitar. I'm like, okay. She's like, I want to learn this song. And so she got out my electric guitar, and then she made a capo for herself, which, you know what a capo is?
A who?
Okay. So what a capo is it bars the fret of a guitar. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
play on higher string, right? Oh, a lot of folk music.
I got my son one of those.
Different kinds of music.
Or he bought it for himself.
But folk generally utilizes those kinds of tunings and things like that. Some rock, but so she made her own on like the 5th fret. She looked it up on YouTube how to do it. She used like a pencil and some rubber bands, and then she started playing the song. And then she said, "Dad, can you play it for me?" So I showed her the chords and stuff. But I was just so overjoyed that she was doing music again and on her own. And we had to talk about songwriting. And I said, make up your own chords. It doesn't have to follow any sort of, you know, formula or anything, but it was so cool.
Yeah. Aww.
I know. So I wanted to share that with you because that just happened last night. And all of you, we, you know, Ginger and I this is a conversational thing, but it's also a very universal thing for you guys. So we want to let you guys know that everyone's involved, and we want everyone to participate. We have a email, right? What's our email? The art channel 70, because the art channel wasn't available, of course, at gmail.com. But questions, comments, poems, exquisite corpse poems, surrealist Dada work, anything, like, you know.
So the movie I was thinking about was Moonrise Kingdom.
Oh, cool. Thank you for
really good Wes Anderson movie.
Awesome. Moonrise Kingdom?
Yeah.
I'll have to write that down. Okay.
Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
No, I haven't, but I definitely will check it out.
Ooh.
Thank you. And just so the folks know, Ginger, we're all about all kinds of art. That's the gist of this show. We kind of said that last week too, but because it encompasses everything. Correct?
Ooh. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And we're gonna let Ginger do your thing. We're gonna let she's kind of delving into her process now, which is kind of fun. So we'll watch that. And just so you guys know, I told you about it last week, but she does, speaking of process, she does have a couple demo videos out on epoxy. Very cool. And so you want to check those out on her, what's your YouTube channel? Just Ginger Lou Art?
Just Ginger Lou.
Okay, Ginger Lou. Easy. Right, so check that out for sure. You can see her process. She's also a teacher. So she teaches art online and also in person, even during a COVID era, right? You're doing some in-person stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
online, like Zoom, like Zoomy.
Exactly. So we're gonna let her task, and she can kind of do her thing. And of course, she's already going at it with the imagery and stuff.
Watch out!
Ginger, one thing I was thinking about, because I like to daydream about the show and things that I want to talk about with you and other people that come on the show. And I know, like with painting, sometimes the imagery can be very specific. Like, you know, behind me, it's more surrealistic. It's very different, kind of dreamlike. But for example, a painting of, you know, just a pastoral view or a mountain or something, not always a lot for people to extrapolate their own meaning. But when you get into something like collage or mixed media art, something different happens because you're taking different elements completely. It could be magazines, all paint, all different things, ink, you know, I put a baseball card on one of my collages, but how does that transform the art and the intention of that? I mean, I know obviously it's inadvertent, but what, you know, it also changes, don't you think it also can mean so many different things to so many different people when you're adding so many different things into one piece?
Well, I guess I feel like just collage in itself, the one image could mean something to me where it could mean something totally different to someone else.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm talking about the compilation of the images together too brings different significance to people as well, right? And a
Yeah.
different feel. Someone might look at one of your pieces and go, "That's really dark," because of the imagery or the colors or everything. Where someone else could be like, "Wow, that's really to me illuminating." It's so that's what I meant. It's the combination of these images together creates something completely different.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's just, I don't know. When people ask me what is my piece about, sometimes I like to say, it's based on this feeling or emotion or whatnot. But other times I just kind of, I don't know, I don't like to say because I want somebody to go by what they.
Yeah, exactly. No, and that's what's great is that I'm sure you get a lot of feedback of no matter what your intention, even if you had one was originally, it's nice to hear what people get out of it and what the different things that they may, feel from it. Don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. That's kind of what I was getting at. Not so much the artist's intention. As you know, I'm not, a lot of my lyrics and things like that don't mean anything. It's not, some people write with a very specific point of view, and for me, it's not always how I do my art either. So I'm all with you on the what does it mean and all that. It could mean something completely different to everyone, and that's the freedom of art, and that's the universal. Ooh, I like that so far. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
So what was your new music that you're working on?
Oh, so I've been doing some different types of projects. I've been doing these works for individual people. Did a couple
Like,
did one. So one of my friends suffers from, he's got a couple issues, and don't necessarily want to have to bring them up because it's personal. And one of them's female related. So like every month she gets a reminder of this pain and things like that. And it's extreme. It's not just like cramping. And yeah, she has endometriosis.
okay.
And so it's a friend that I made some music for healing.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And it's like, and she does yoga and stuff and meditates. So it's just music to have like in the background. And then, but the intention, yeah, it was a very strong intention of making the music for it to heal and thinking about her pain. And because I've seen her suffer before and stuff, like you just see it on her face and stuff. So it's just someone I cared about. And then a couple other different projects that I've just been doing for people individually, music. Doing one for my oldest daughter, like again, a yoga meditation type thing. Kind of getting into that more than just like putting out stuff for the masses. I did a couple of things like that earlier, but yeah.
Do you want to play something?
What's that?
Do you want to play something that you made this week?
Yeah.
Or no? Sorry, I don't know.
Don't be sorry. Yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate your enthusiasm. No, yeah, let's.
But it sparked my curiosity.
Absolutely. Well, maybe it can.
I was like, huh, what does that sound like?
Maybe it can inform your work a little bit here. I mean, not
Yeah.
completely, but. And by the way, folks, Ginger's stuff is all over the place. Her artwork is all over the state, and now it's going to be in more states. We're getting Ginger Lou out in Colorado, so she's going to be. We're going to feature her here in one of the local record stores that I've been helping out at, a place called What's Left Records here in Colorado Springs, and they have some one other local artist here that's put up some stuff. She's a younger gal. So it's going to be really nice to have Ginger, who's a professional and someone that work just stands out. So it's going to be great to have her stuff in there, and people go and check out that record store anyways. They're supporting. Oh, Ginger, I wanted to tell you, there's a couple people too that are selling their jewelry that they make there, and other things as well. So yeah, so you're gonna be in good company there with a lot of folks that are doing their thing, you know. And I got to meet a couple of them, and they're really cool. It was really nice to see some people that are doing that kind of art. One woman was doing bracelets with old guitar strings, like making them really, really nice. Like my daughter Roxy wants one of them actually. So yeah, let's do. Let's see. This one is called Dreamworks, and this is from the Healing Meditation. That's good. So yeah, this is something I've been working on. Kind of got like a little bit of a Eastern feel to it. Got a little bit of sitar in there. But yeah, again, meditation type music. That's a big thing for me in my life. It's kind of saved my sanity over the years, and I kind of just fell into it on my own. I don't really. But it's cool to see other people. Like my friend Chelsea, she's a yoga teacher. And it's really cool to see, you know, the things that she's doing, meditation and stretching. And like, she was on one of my shows earlier. She would be really good to have on the show as well. And
we are going to have other people on the show.
I think it's too loud. Hold on. Drowning me out, girl. There we go. Okay, what did you say, G? I'm sorry.
We are going to have other people on the show. We're just kind of excited to do this for fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
We've got a whole community to showcase.
We got a lot of people on who want to be on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're really excited. And I wanted to maybe preview just a little bit some folks that we confirmed. My friends from Sonoma County, and they are the Baker Sisters. And you can check out their website. It's Baker Sisters Art. And they're also art teachers as well, Ginger. So they're kindred spirits. You're gonna get along really well with them. If you guys want to check out their work, it's bakersistersart.com. And they're based out of Sonoma County, which is the place I used to live. And actually met them out in Colorado. They have a band called Sam Vega, and played some shows with them years ago, and just been friends since, and played many shows every time they come to Colorado Springs, and able to pull together one of my bands to play with them. So they're Renaissance folks. They do music, they tour around the country, and then they also, again, teach art and make a lot of art. Similar style as far as the surrealist and dreamlike stuff that they do. Very intense stuff, both of them, of very unique styles. As you know, Ginger, everyone's got their own style. You know, that's the cool thing about art. You know, it's like no matter what you do, you've got your own little stamp on it. You know, and that's what makes it so cool, I think. That's one of my favorite things is the uniqueness of it. So yeah, so Baker Sisters, and again, the band is Sam Vega. You can find them on Bandcamp as well. As our Cheapskates on Bandcamp?
They're going to be on Apple.
Okay.
What I can see. Yeah.
Nice.
Cheapskatesband.com is where to go.
Awesome. So cool. So yeah, Ginger's working on a collage right now. She's doing her process, so she's locked into, she's in the zone as we speak, and so we're digging that. And you're here with Greno and Ginger Lou. We're hanging out on a Saturday morning, beautiful, crisp autumn afternoon, and, or morning afternoon. It is afternoon in the Eastern time zone. I want to say hi to all my friends back east. Love you guys, and all of our friends in the Midwest, all of our friends on the West Coast, all of our friends even in Europe. We have pals over there, huh?
Yeah.
Definitely. All kinds of people doing art. So yeah, you're tuned in to the art channel. We did have some technical difficulties earlier, so I do apologize for that. It was definitely my fault. Couldn't get the AOL dial-up going, so right. But Ginger, what kind of magazines you looking through there? Just random ones that you've got?
Yeah, random. Stockpile.
Nice. So,
Go through and pick out. I just kind of flip through and find things that kind of resonate with me, and then I grab them out and see how I can combine them together to make one picture out of all these snippets. See what happens.
I think last time I asked you, and this is going to be a lead into something else, but because I'm just fluid with that stuff. I think last time I asked you, what was the largest piece you've done? What's the smallest?
Little baby ones and little frames.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get something relevant.
Relevant.
Okay. All right. So this is the smallest book that you will ever see. It is a book by Dessa. Do you know who Dessa is?
I do not.
Oh my gosh. Dessa is. There's her autograph. I've met her. And
That's a Colorado?
No. Dessa is from Minneapolis, Minnesota. She's a part of the Doomtree Collective, which is a bunch of artists, Laserbeak, and just a whole bunch. Like I can't, off the top of my head. But she's a part of this collective, and she is a musician, but she's also an author, and she wrote this book. And so I thought we would go through this book. The book is called Are You Handsome? Which, I mean, is pretty much, we don't even need to answer. So again, she autographed it for me because she's awesome. Dessa, I love you, by the way. You're the best. She was so sweet to my kid.
Yours, like you know?
No, I wish. So the story with her is, again, she's an artist on Doomtree. She does very unique music, but it's a combination of hip hop, spoken word, R&B, rock, pop, everything. She's a great singer. She's a wonderful songwriter, a great thinker. Again, and she's written books and things like that. But 2011, she came and played here locally at the Black Sheep in Colorado Springs. Brought my daughters, and they were.
Is that a big place? Like, what's the?
It's it's like your Casbah size. It's not that big at all. It's
okay.
But it's like the place where the bands come and play here in Colorado Springs generally, that like your punk rock and your a lot of your bands like that, your metal and your hip hop and things like that. So she came through with the band, and my kids, it was their first concert, and they were in front, and literally during the concert, she stopped and saw my kids and said, "How old are you?" Addressed them while they were on stage. While she was on stage. And then after the show, we went to the merch table and she hung out, met them, like took pictures with them. She was just very cool with them. Like it was awesome. She's just a great person. So I thought we'd go through this book because it's just like question and answer type of thing. All right. So the first one, are you handsome? Obviously, yes.
Okay.
All right. And it's not me. I mean, could be anybody. This is just what it says in the book. And then it says, yeah. So then it says, are you funny? And then it says, sometimes, not especially, I guess, I have my moments. Now that sounds like you. All right.
Why? Why?
What do you mean? That answer sounds like you. Because you are funny, and that's what you would say. You'd say sometimes, not especially, I guess. I have my moments. That sounds like you. All right, so next one is, are you smart? And the answer is yes, and I think that's for both of us. Because we went to Poway High. All right, next is, have you been successful? And again, this could be, have you been successful with other women? And then the next question is, why do you ask that? And then it says,
successful with other women?
Yeah, and that doesn't necessarily mean, again, this is a book, so people can read into it, whatever. Then it says, it's a fair question, I think. And then it says, I've been successful to a point. And then it says, to a point, question mark. And then it was a fair answer. And then it says, all right, your turn. And then it says, are you beautiful? And then it says, yes. And it says, very. And it says, yes, I think so. And then it says, are you vain? And it says, no, just answering honestly, which is a very Dessa answer.
Okay.
Are you looking to marry into money? And then it says, I think I'll know what I'm looking for when I find it. So that says no to me. And then it says, that's a bit of a dodge. And then it says, it was a bit of bullet. So she gets a little witty with these.
It was
Look
a bit
how tiny
of
this
what?
book is. This is what I'm reading out of.
It was a bit of what?
It said, it was a bit of bullet. Get it? Dodge, bullet? Dodge the bullet? Come on, G. All right, and then it says, I don't see how. And it says, no one wants to acknowledge that love and money mix, and they always do.
Love and money.
And then it says, you mean you've always mixed them. And then it says, no, I mean, well, have you ever signed a prenup? And it says, yes. Then you've married for money, your own. And it says, clever, but I don't think quite true. Do you consider yourself a wit? And it says, I suppose I do. And it says, are you generous? So are you generous, Ginger?
Am I generous? I think so.
Okay.
Generous with, there's so many different things to be generous with. Your time, your material possessions.
Absolutely.
Your love.
Yes.
I guess it's a lot of different meanings behind that.
Absolutely. And then,
I'm generous, I believe. Not probably perfectly everything.
well, nothing's ever that way. And then her answer was, I'd say I'm generous, so very similar to yours. And then we'll pretty much end right here. It'll say, we're about halfway through the book, the little book. Then it says, would your friends say so? I know my friends would definitely say I'm generous. What about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they would, for sure. Dessa says it would depend on which ones you asked. So anyways, this is the book called Are You Handsome by Dessa. It's very tiny, very cool, very unique.
Yeah.
And everything's written on, like, pretty much it looks like, you know, just like your little fortune cookie, you know, paper. That's what it's written on. So anyways, I just wanted to share that. She's one of my favorite artists, so I thought that would be a cool thing to share since we were talking about tiny art and you said that the smallest piece that you had done was like whatever, small. Cool. Awesome. That's so neat. So Lal, you're doing your process there. I like it. Very cool.
Thank you.
What's the longest that you've worked on a piece? Like continually though, not like, because I know there's pieces that you start and you finish later. In fact, you just did that recently, right? But
Yeah.
which was cool. Yeah, that was great. I really enjoyed that piece. What was what's, have you worked half a day on something before? Longer? Maybe a couple glass of wines in and just keep grooving?
I usually I'll make these little pieces in a day. I could do like a 10-minute collage, or sometimes I'll make a piece in a few hours and then I'll let it sit overnight and then go back maybe once or twice to do things. But my longest piece, but I did take a pause on it. I had started making it and then I moved, and then it took me a while to kind of get settled back. I think it took me a year to make the piece, but I kept stopping and starting it over a long period of time. But usually I work pretty quickly and pretty fast. I like the instant gratification of it all.
Is that one of the reasons you like collage?
Probably. And when I knit, I like to knit scarves because it's just kind of a quickie. But sometimes it's also nice to just spend more time and delve into something deeper.
Mm-hmm.
I like to mix it up. I don't like to be the same all the time. I like change and variation and adventure. So,
Talk about the knitting, because you teach a class too, girl.
oh yeah,
Let the
course
people know.
And Course Horse. It's a company based out of New York, actually, and I teach classes. I teach a mixed media class on there, and a collage class, and a knitting class on there too. It's fun. It's fun, the Zoom meeting stuff, to just chit chat with people
Mm-hmm.
from other places and
Cool.
just meet all kinds of people. It's pretty fun, little adventure.
Definitely.
You don't have to leave your living room, but you're like socializing.
Oh, and how can people find out how to take those classes?
Just you can go to Course Horse. Just search Ginger Lou Course Horse, and
Awesome.
right there, yeah, it pops up pretty easily.
I'm going to segue right there because my daughter actually took a class from you, and I'm going to share some of her work. In fact, I'm going to share the collage that she did for the class. So if you want to hold it down, Ginger Lou, for a couple minutes, I'm going to take a little break and go get those paintings and other artwork from Alex, my daughter, and we'll be back. But yeah, you're checking out the art channel. We are in the second half hour of today's show, episode number 2, numero 2. And we're hanging with Ginger Lou. She's doing her thing, always doing it so well. So we'll be back, or I'll be back, and she's going to continue with you for a moment. All right, we'll see you guys in a minute.
All right, so I am just making a collage here in real time for you to see the process. And you can see how I do things, I guess. So I basically just kind of go through and pick out images that resonate with me, and then combine them in unique ways that you might not expect. So like this piece, I was going to use this side, but then I turned it around and I'm like, oh, this is kind of interesting on the other side. Maybe I'll use that. There we go. I just kind of have a stash of magazines that I use and some scraps that I save. I have one box of scraps and one box of just pages that I've torn out. And I usually put a hummingbird in every piece, most pieces, not all, but the majority. And I guess I should tell you what kind of glue I use in case you want to make something at home. I really like to use this washable clear Elmer's, these glue sticks. They work really good. And here's my lovely hummingbird. And in here. Did you find your daughter's art?
I did.
Oh, let me see.
So there's the collage that she did in your class. And I think it could go, we were talking about it, we could go either way. And that's something that I've noticed with your art too, that you've said that, you know, which, man, again, makes it like, turns it into a whole different piece. Or it has the potential to do that.
No, it's super fun. I love doing that. I like making a piece and then kind of creating it so it could be either direction.
I think you actually even demonstrated that in the first episode. So thank you for that. You kind of showed, yeah, you showed a couple pieces different ways. So yeah, so that's her collage, and then a couple of other ones that I chose. I think she said this is one of her favorite ones that she's done. So yeah, and then I don't know. Can you see the gold in there too? Like, I don't know if it shows up, but yeah, it's really, really gorgeous. And then one of my favorites, kind of got that Southwest motif.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so that's my daughter Alex. She's 14, and she's doing painting and other, you know, obviously collage, other kinds of art. So I'm proud of her. She kind of just did that all on her own, Ginger. You know, it wasn't really. She asked for materials and stuff, canvases and paints and stuff like that. But other than that, she's done it all on her own. It's really cool. It's a joy for a parent when kids take the reins like that without having. Some kids are, you know, unfortunately forced to do, whether it's music. It seems like music is the one that kids are forced a lot, you know, especially piano and things. And it's unfortunate because.
I was just thinking that. I was thinking the piano thing too.
Did you take piano lessons? Have you ever done music?
No.
Well, we need to change that.
One time I gave a friend a collage lesson, and he was going to teach me how to do DJing stuff, but I don't know. The collage lesson took so long. we were just messing around with the collage stuff, and then so we didn't even do the DJ part.
Girl, you got the soul of a drummer. You need to get behind that drum kit.
But I don't know, maybe someday. My son does that part, so I don't have to.
You can do more than one kind of art. What else? Cooking? You a cooker?
Cooking, yeah, I like cooking. I have appreciation for music.
Well, absolutely. You have appreciation for all art. I was just curious about if you ever delved into it. So, what about writing, poetry, or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't. I made a poetry book a long time ago.
Cool.
Yeah, that was fun. And I guess I'm a decent writer. I've been told I'm a good writer. I got a little scholarship for writing.
Ooh, okay. College?
Yeah.
Nice. Where did you go to college? What's your academic background after being a Poway Titan?
I went to Mesa and Miramar community colleges.
Okay.
And then I got the scholarship was for a different college from there. But then I didn't go because I had my kiddo and I was like, oh, I don't want to, I don't know. I just focused on being a parent. So I didn't take the scholarship.
Yeah.
But you know what? Maybe someday I'll go back.
Mm-hmm. So Ginger Lou's making some collage art for us, folks. Hanging out on the Art Channel. Episode number 2. Wow. Dig it. Look at that. So how do you know when it's done?
That's a good question. That's kind of a hard part, deciding that. It's just, I know, I'm kind of like, is it done? I feel like it might be done. Just thinking maybe.
Folks, we're getting the inner workings of the artiste, the mind at work, the creative battle of are we finished or not? Well, same thing with music. You could add.
Really?
With overdubbing, you could add and add and add, and some people do that. But I'm of the school of less is better. Something that we discussed too.
Yeah.
I kind of go with the more minimal approach. I want it to sound good to the ears, not so overwhelming to where sometimes you kind of lose track. I like the double track. What that means is put 2 of the same like vocal sounds or guitar that are the same. Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's done.
I can let you know if you.
Like it's done.
I'm just playing. Yeah. Ginger Lou in process, folks. That's what we do.
I'm gonna add some ink. I am gonna add some ink.
Okay. So again, we're still in process. And that's the other thing though, G, is that you could decide tomorrow you want to add something else, or you could decide you want to make it into a bigger piece or things. These decisions are always, there for you to make and liberating. If you want to make them, you can be done or not be done. And that's the same thing with a piece of music, a piece of furniture, a piece of architecture, a piece of some food that you make. Oh, I wanted to tell you too, one of my friends does woodwork for a living. Chris Nefke, he's one of my oldest friends. Robbie and Chris Nefke and I go back to when I was 3 years old. Before I lived in Poway, I lived in Mission Bay right there next to the bay. And they were my first friends. And they were the first artistic people that I knew. Their mom is actually ended up being an interior decorator, had her own business. But growing up, she would like draw pictures of us and, just sketch out pictures of you know, the cat and like, but she'd also do painting and other things like that. Very accomplished artist. So that's the mom, Vicky. And then the sons, Robbie and Chris, were my friends. And I grew up with them, and they were the first people I knew that played guitar, played music. Robbie was actually in the Outrage. I don't know if you remember, he was the one guy that wasn't from Poway, that was in the band. But yeah, that family inspired so much art and music and creativity. We still have some of the pieces that she drew. There's one that she did of my sister and I that she just freehand sketched. Just such a gifted artist. But the sons, Robbie works, I think, with the Old Globe, like doing sets and stuff for theater. So very creative.
There we go.
Ta-da! Ginger Lou in the process, folks. Look out when this girl gets in the zone. She's unstoppable, man. But anyways, Chris Nefke is a woodworker, Ginger, and I think you guys can find, I think it's C Nefke Woodworks or on Instagram, but I'd love to have him on. That's a completely different process that I know nothing about, my friend. What about you? What woodwork and all that? Is that something you're privy to?
Pottery. I enjoy pottery.
Nice, yeah. Ceramics, things like
pottery, cooking, sewing. I want to get back into sewing. I have some fabric that I'm gonna make, sew kind of like fabric collages and put them in frames.
Oh wow!
I kind of in the back of my head, like
dig it,
working it out.
I want to show you something.
Yeah.
That this is a thing my sister got me a long time ago, but it was like they took old record covers and like, I guess they were probably broken, recycled. But like, look at this one. It's Foreigner 4. It's like scraps of the album cover, but made into like a journal. Like my kids, of course, like.
That's like the perfect little collage book.
Destroyed it, but yeah, I know. Look at that.
That I made.
Foreigner 4, girl. You know what I mean? And this is the actual record too. If you guys look real closely, it's the actual part of the record cut out, because that's the middle right there. It's got all the song. So we got this is the album 4. So it's got all the hits like Jukebox Hero and Waiting for a Girl Like You, and Urgent. Oh, it's funny. But yeah, this would be cool to have something like that. But just a couple little pieces I wanted to share today. So remember, we got Dessa. Everyone check out Dessa. Again, it's probably doomtree.com. But her music's amazing. Again, she also is an author. She's done books and things like that. And then who else did we talk about today, G? Besides your greatness.
The Cheapskate.
Oh, Cheapskates, of course. What was the name of the song? Moscow?
Oh, Moscow Boy.
Moscow Boy.
Should I play one more song to kind of wrap things up?
Sounds like a winner.
Yeah. All right. This one's Violin Noise.
Okay, cool. Anything you want to say before we do that? Say goodbye to the folks at least. Man, girl. What's wrong with you?
So here's the collage of today.
Awesome. And you're going to post that. It'll be on our you guys, thank you so much for liking our Facebook page. We're over 350 people. Let's keep it going. So tell your friends. And Ginger, you're going to post that on there, right, my dear?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely.
So we'll get that going. Also, don't forget, you got an art show coming up next month in Vegas.
Yeah.
What's the name of the spot again?
Saturation Gallery.
Saturation Gallery.
And my website is Pixels.
Yes.
Just search Ginger Lou Pixels. Absolutely. And my next product that I'm going to have on there are flat face masks. Because the ones I have right now are just the ones that are folded. And these are going to be like flat ones. I've got to put them up. But I'm always loading new images on there.
And folks, she's much too modest. Just so you know, you can find a lot of her collage work and you can get these pieces. It could be mugs, could be masks, like she said, prints of the work, t-shirts. I need a bass drum head though. That's the one. Can you, of Night? Okay, so you know the piece Night. I need that on a bass drum head, and I will pay top dollar. So let's see. So
how would you do that? I wonder. How would you do that? I don't know. I don't have the knowledge of the instrument to.
I mean, honestly, I could even a print. I could just get the correct dimensions of the print and buy a print from you, and then just place it on there. But yeah, that's something I want to definitely
make it happen. Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah. So, but you guys, it's been a pleasure. You've been hanging out with the one and only Ginger Lou, and I am Mr. Greno. We're kicking it from what? I'm sorry.
Thank you for joining us today.
Yes. Thank you for mentioning that. And we want to thank everyone for the love and support for our first episode. Just overwhelming and tremendous. In fact, it inspired us to do a second one a little quicker than we thought. And so, right? And so we want to thank.
We decided late last night.
Yep. So we want to thank you guys for that. Probably for our next show, we'll be having a guest or two or three. And so we definitely want you to join us for that. You can stay tuned on our Facebook page always. And we're always posting on our personal pages as well. Instagram, Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. Check out the Anonymous Collective music page as well on Facebook. Always have new music up from artists like Dangerous Days. Colin Estes is going to be releasing a new album from us on Tuesday. So we'll have more. Oh, and before I forget, Ginger, we got a print, or not print, but an interview with you coming out next month. And it's going to be in our blog. So check that out. Ginger talking about breaking down her art scene and all the things that she's doing. So thank you for doing that for us, Ginger. And yeah, you guys, peace, love, happiness. Ginger, you want to play some rock and roll to end it up with the Cheapskates here?
Yeah, this one's Violin noise.
And you are watching the Art Channel.
I'll just play this till the end, and maybe I'll just kind of goof around with another design while the song's playing.
We want to thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Be creative. Make some art this weekend. Do what you do, because you do it the best. See you guys next time.
Selected verse. All of these words in a hectic search and follow with beats, I follow get curses. But these ain't curses, these is gifts for scarlet listeners. But these ain't curses, these is gifts and life descriptions. Scripture of the mindset, never set, moving in rotation. I could feel and taste it, I could never hate this. Coming to me when I need it, clouds above and they are feeling. Am I running in my city? Everything is